Hello to the team at RL Landscaping. My name's Jeff Bradley, and I work with businesses to get their websites ranked higher on Google search. And I wanted to make you this quick video to show you a couple of really simple things you can do to your website that will greatly improve your Google ranking and multiply your monthly revenue. And then I want to show you some key numbers and metrics from 3 of your top competitors in your area to show you why they are currently outranking you and what needs to be done for you to close that gap so you can beat them in the rankings. So I originally found you using the search word hardscaping in Auburn, Washington. Now I took a look at your services and I see that you have a huge number of services. Down here in retaining walls, these services here in this category would certainly qualify as hardscaping. So we will address all these other services in a minute, but let's stick with hardscaping for now, because in Auburn, hardscaping is a huge traffic volume keyword right now. So I just want to stick with that for a minute, and we'll get to these other ones shortly. So using the search term hardscaping, Auburn, Washington, here's page 1, listings for Auburn, and actually, I found your website, it was down past page 10, so for this keyword. A problem with that is that, according to Google, 92% of people searching on Google, they never look past page 1. So, being below page 1, you're virtually invisible. In fact, below page 2, you really are invisible. So what we need to do is we need to get you bumped up in the rankings onto page 1, which will automatically multiply times 10 at least the number of people who will see you. And it's going to also literally triple or quadruple your monthly revenue because all of your future customers are on page 1. So here is what we can do to get you headed in that direction. So let's go back to your website and as I said, I was using the search term hardscaping, but you've got all kinds of different services, and I will show you that what I'm about to show you with the word hardscaping, this applies to all of your services, and I'll show you how. Let's go back to your home page for a second. Now, the first thing that Google searches for, or the first thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you, is your title tag. Now, these blue lines of text are all title tags, and here are your top competitors for landscaping: Olympic Landscape, Wolf and Sons, Mountain View Landscape. These are all their title tags. Now the title tag tells Google what it is that your business is about and what your website is about. And it also is telling Google that these are the very search words that you want people to use to find you with. Now let's go back to your website, and I'm going to use this scanning tool. And we're on your home page, and I'm going to analyze your home page, and this scanning tool is going to show us what your title tag currently is, which is that blue line of text. And it's loading and loading. And here it is. We see that your title tag currently is Home RL Landscaping LLC. Now what this is doing is this is telling Google that these are the search words that you want people to use to find you with. And this is the text that will appear as that blue line of text in your listing. Now the problem here is that nobody searching for any of your services would ever type in to their search Home RL Landscaping. They wouldn't even know to put your business's name in their search. So let me show you how critically important this is. If I copy your title tag as it is, and we open up this new, let's get a brand new tab here, and I'm going to paste your title tag in, paste and go. Watch what happens here. Using the search words that you are telling Google that you want people to use, boom, look at what happens. In my new search, you come up, let's get this out of the way. In my new search, using the search words that you are telling Google that you want people to use in your title tag, you come up number 1 on page 1 in my new search. So that is how critically important it is to get that right. Now, that's the first thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you, is your title tag. Now, the title tag doesn't appear on your website. It appears when you go into the back end of your website where you do editing. There's a field in there where you can type in your title tag. Now, there's a definite format that Google wants to see for your title tag. And here's the format. The formula is, reading from left to right, the main keyword that you want people to use to find you with. And in our example, we're using hardscaping. And then a dash. And then the second thing Google wants to see is your location. So for you, it would be Auburn, Washington. It's the location you're trying to rank for. And then followed by another dash. And then you would put your business's name, RL Landscaping LLC. So your title tag for, in our example for hardscaping, your title tag would read hardscaping dash Auburn, Washington dash RL Landscaping LLC. Now the second thing that Google wants to look for when ranking you is something called your H1. Your H1, that stands for header 1, is a field of text somewhere on your website that also tells Google what it is you're trying to rank for. And it tells Google the very search words that you want people to use to find you with. And your H1 needs to match exactly what you have in your title tag. So your H1 for this page needs to be, in our example, hardscaping dash Auburn, Washington dash RL Landscaping LLC. It needs to match, corresponding one-to-one match. Now, we come down here and we see that your H1 is we are licensed and insured, beautiful landscapes, design, transform. You got all these different H1s, and none of them match your title tag. So right off the bat, Google is very confused about what it is that you want to rank for. And when that happens, Google doesn't know who to direct to you in a search and will consequently red flag your website and prevent you from rising up in the rankings. So what happens when you get your title tag dialed in correctly and have a matching H1, what that does is it creates a crystal clear channel of communication between your website and Google's algorithm. Now Google knows precisely what that page is about, and it knows precisely who to direct to you in a search. And what happens after that is we take a look at all your services, and we do a search for your area, and we find what is the highest traffic volume keyword for each one of these services: landscape design, sprinkler system installation, gardening, planting. And we then create a separate page for each one of these services. And that separate page will then contain its own individual title tag and matching H1. Now we can begin to rank each one of these services individually. And Google now knows how to drive traffic to each one of these individual pages for people who are searching for each one of these services individually. So that's how that works. And what we would do for your home page then is decide what is the best generic keyword, umbrella keyword, that best covers all of your services. Think of your website like a book, and the title tag for your home page is like the title of the book. It tells Google what your website is about. Now, for your website, we might discover that landscaping services or landscaping contractors, whatever it might be, the highest traffic volume keyword that covers all of your services, and we would choose that as your title tag for your home page and direct most of the traffic there that way. And then when people arrive here, then up in your menu, there would be a drop down and links to go to each one of your individual pages for all the different services. So I know this is a lot and it can be very confusing, and we can discuss this in depth at a later time. However, I just wanted to give you an overview of that. Now, the third thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you is something called your backlink profile. Now, you probably know what backlinks are. That's when an outside website links to your website. And when that happens, whatever ranking power that outside website has, some of that ranking power will flow back to your website. And the more outside quality websites that you are linking to, the more ranking power is flowing back to your website. Now, let's take a look at your top 3 competitors and see what their backlink profiles are. Here we have olympiclandscape.com. And by the way, this backlink profile accounts for about 50% of your overall ranking power. So this is very, very important. And the number that we want to look at is the domain rating. Now, Google determines what your domain rating is based on your backlinks and the quality of them and how many of them you have and what kind of websites you're linking to. So Olympic Landscape has 772 backlinks. 78% of them are sending ranking power back to Olympic Landscape. They're only coming up with a domain rating of 8, and that is not very impressive. A business that's on page 1, especially in a population area like yours, their domain rating should really be up in the 20s and 30s and 40s or even higher. So what this is telling me is that the competition isn't that great for these services in your area. So keep this in mind. In order to rank on page 1 of Google, you don't have to have the greatest website in the world. You only have to have a website that's a little bit better than your competitors. And they're on page 1 with a domain rating of 8. That tells me that your competition is not that steep. Let's go to your second competitor, Mountain View Landscape. Their domain rating is underneath 1. It's 0.1. That's terrible. That's just unbelievably bad. And yet they're on page 1 with only 30 backlinks. Again, this is telling me that the competition in your area is not that high for these types of services. Let's carry on. Wolf and Sons Landscaping, 0.6. Again, under 1. This is really, really shocking to me. With 198 backlinks, to have only a domain rating of 0.6 is just incredible. So this is telling me that overall your competition is not that steep. Let's go and take a look at your backlink profile. Here you are. 0.2, 68 backlinks. We've got a little bit of work to do in building some really high quality backlinks for you. But again, your competition is not that steep. The businesses that are on page 1 right now, for all of the services in your area, they are not outside of your reach. They are well within striking distance for you to catch them and overtake them in the rankings. And what it's going to take is just a well thought out campaign of link building, as well as getting all of these title tag and H1 components dialed in to your website. Get them dialed in properly. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview. I know it's a lot to take in, and I went way over time. I only wanted to keep you for about 5 minutes, and we're up to almost 14. So I'll cut this short now. So if you'd like to know more about this, let's have a quick chat about it. I'd be happy to answer all your questions. This is what I do. I get businesses ranked onto page 1 of Google and up into the top spots, which will have a major impact on your Google ranking and your monthly revenue. So if you'd like to know more about these things, as I said, love to have a quick chat with you about it. So just reply back to this email, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.